How effective is the combination of your main and ancillary tasks? Well, overall, quick summary, fantastic. Obviously, we had a few minor bump at the beginning. We had made the mistake of first of all designing a DVD cover when it wasn't necessary, but we did actually decide to finish the DVD cover, as we have such a skill and we've all been doing media, my group, we've all been doing media for a good few years, so we have the skill to work very, very quickly on print products, whereas video is obviously a bit more difficult and longer. You think you've got to make every specific frame as detailed as a single photography shot, as a single print image. Not obviously as much, but you do need the detail there. Our main task, we obviously produced first. That was because that was a running concept. We needed, we couldn't do that in the last 8 or 9 weeks. We needed that to be done all the way through. So from that, we learned any effects, anything we used, we could easily put into Photoshop, and we could easily produce in Photoshop. As I use Adobe After Effects and obviously Adobe Photoshop, they're both from the same suite, that I knew that was possible. And I thought, instead of creating Photoshop effects and then trying to put them onto our video, and it may not work, we'll make the video work, and then we'll struggle to do the things we could do quicker. We would struggle a little bit on them, so it's quicker to do that. And we made a filter thing which runs through every bit of our ancillary and our main. We made a filter thing that runs through every bit of our ancillary and main task, and that was a blue-purple crush effect. And what that is just a circle gradient that goes around the edge, and it sort of merges into a well-done colour correction. That wasn't applied on every bit of filming we done, but that was our main one. Our other main one was a steel blue crush, and that was more for the outdoor scenes, like the natural lighting scenes. And then when it was in dim setting, we had an orange filter, and that just brought out the warmness of the room. And then I think that contrast created this actually very jumpy effect. And a good example of the filter where you see it quite well is in one of our gun scenes. I think it's our first gun scene that you see of the action. It's a blue industrial state, and you just see blue and purple crush effect all the way around. We then applied that into our magazines and our DVD, which was applicable. We then decided to create a new effect for our ancillary task, but this was a side, this was just to show off our skills, and we made the connection through the text, through the name, through the characters, through the effect on the images. Most of our posters were mainly text based, but any images that were in there were joined with they were relevant to our video through the effects we put on our video. The combination of the main and ancillary worked really well, as obviously our posters work as posters. They get across what posters are meant to do, obviously to alert you that there's a new film coming out, the dates. They're not to show off the action as much. They do have aspects, but they don't show it off as much as a trailer would. Our magazines were very, very stereotypical of magazines. We managed to put a binder on the side of ours, just through knowledge and understanding of conventions and the furniture on a magazine. We actually designed a well-structured magazine for a typical film magazine. It had things such as question times, the behind the scenes. It wasn't focused on so much the amazement of the trailer, of the film even. It's more focused on what happened behind, how we made the film, not the actual film itself. And that's how our magazine works so well. Our posters, we actually come up with an idea. I found it on a film called Kick-Ass. Their posters were character profiles. Each individual character had their own poster. It's also been seen on the new Harry Potter. It's almost like a enigma, the puzzle as well. Like, so you see one picture, you see one poster, you want to find the other one, and that's how ours worked. And scattered around. Obviously, we only had a few characters, but obviously the target audience for this wouldn't be as large as Harry Potter, possibly the biggest franchise behind, or the biggest grossing franchise, as far as I know. But we still feel that our magazines and mainly our posters got across the fact and alerted the audience that there is this new trailer coming out, that there is this new film coming out. Got used to that. That there is this new film coming out that is actiony, is an action thriller, is a hero versus villain type thing, storyline. And it does have, and obviously we got across the certificate, well, the age rating, and I think overall we target our audience well. What have you learned from your audience feedback? Our teachers are actually kind enough to construct a survey for when the younger years of our school watched our trailers and our music videos. But in my case, I feel that the feedback was very positive. There were a few ups and downs on individual things, but overall the feedback itself were mainly positive. If you look at my blog, you find a list of all the positive feedbacks. They're not all good. I did look at the mistakes made, what was wrong with it, etc. I've learned that in order to make a successful film trailer or film, if I was going that far, which hopefully in the future I will be, you need a good team, but you need good equipment, and that's no thingy on our school because we had the equipment. It was just down to us to use it, and I feel that we didn't use our knowledge of sound, which was actually the biggest flaw in our film. We didn't use the knowledge of sound, of how to pick up voices well. We was actually considering investing in a direct mic, because the cameras we were using had open mics, so as you picked up any noise, so there was a lot of white noise, and obviously when editing you had to cut that out because you couldn't have a constant white noise because it'd be irritating. So when the sound of, say, the voiceover did come in, the white noise would instantly hit and you'd notice it. It wasn't like a little noticeable thing, it was quite noticeable, and I feel that's where mainly our grade would drop if you was considering the sound. Other than that, the feedback, special effects was highly rated. Everyone appeared to really enjoy special effects. As the main editor, I was actually astounded that they couldn't see any mistakes where I've been lazy or where I just couldn't do something, and obviously we had a time limit, and obviously my knowledge isn't as great as someone who's had video editing experience for God so many years. Just quickly, the feedback, I feel that boys' opinions, and this is to do with gender representation from the film, a bit of reception theory here. I feel that the boys' reception of the film was very testosterone fueled. They saw it as the action, they didn't see the cheesiness, which a girl would spot, a female would spot the cheesiness of a quote, whereas a boy would just see it as something to say. I think that is why so many films in Hollywood and that fail, because they only target one gender. I feel that we've actually managed, through the use of the heartfelt sorrow for David, Frank Miller, you see his emotion. He isn't solid, he isn't fierce about the emotions. He does show his other emotions, and I feel that actually attracted a bit of gaze theory for the females of the film. Also, we had the use of not so much topless, but near to topless actors and again I feel that drew in the female interest to our film.